Perfect. So my name is Micah Klein. I'm coming to you today from the United States Military Academy at West Point. And what I'm here to talk to you about is our podcast. This all got started really about 1 year ago. I'm a two-time deaf attendee, and I attended the Design Thinking Seminar. So this is a little bit of a pitch to the Design Thinking Seminar with John Silk and Harry Jones. And one thing that they encouraged us to do was, from the point of, really release from DAF 2015 to the point of 2016, was to use design thinking to create something of your own, some sort of innovative idea, a product, something along those lines. And so I was sitting at a table with Justin Lynch, actually, and we came up with an idea. Now, it wasn't Leaders Hall podcast, but it provided the inspiration and I guess the motivation to be here today and talk to you about Leaders Hall podcast. All right, move me out. I love Prezi, by the way. Anyways, we started here in 2015. We use Kolb's experiential learning theory as sort of the guide and model for Leaders Hall podcast. And that starts with someone having a concrete experience, right? Every single person that we have in our on our podcast, and sort of pitch to if you're thinking about creating a podcast, has some sort of concrete experience. Our focus is the company level leader. So leaders starting at cadets, obviously for the United States Military Academy, going all the way up to company commanders. We want to get them in front of a podcast and have them talking about their concrete experiences. It's pretty powerful. I'm the editor-in-chief. David Weird is our actual producer. To sit there interviewing someone through a podcast, and I've heard a lot about podcasts, really reflecting on their experiences that they have. Our podcast provides an opportunity for folks that have not reflected on experiences that they've had as company level officers to sit in front of a microphone really and get that out to the community. Very powerful thing. We move along. At the end of December, using this design thinking model, we created really what our vision is. All right, we developed a core team, have a vision. All right, I'm going to try to move this up. Is that better? No? Perfect. Developed a core team, right? As Ryan just said, making sure that you get the right people on the bus is a very important thing. People that are inspired, passionate, energetic is something that's been that's resonated really well with us. Created a culture of values based on the company command platoon leader forms, and moved on to our sort of next phase in this little operation. By January 2016, we're already starting to have focus groups for our episodes, right? You have to have a plan. One thing that we learned in podcasting is that even before we release a podcast, we wanted to have a deck of 4 built before we could sort of get this, get the launch. We draft a production schedule. I would say that timing is everything. We release episodes bi-weekly, so every 2 weeks you'll see a new episode from us. Next. By 2016, initial recording had begun. We set a mark on the wall by the Army's birthday, ironically enough, was our product launch date. We wanted to have something tangible, get something out there and create feelers. We created really a beta version, a prototype of what that podcast would look like, and we practiced, we experimented a number of times. Our first podcast, we did 12 times, trying to perfect it and make it feel like it was something that would be really of value to everybody who's sitting here and the folks that are listening to us. By May 2016, we started having more core meetings, and read an article on really The Economist. 2001 was when podcasting first sort of got its launch. So this is a very new idea, 2016. The Army is not really using podcasting to the extent of its potential, I would say. We wanted to change that a little bit. We moved on. In 14 June 2016, which is incredible, I think it's one of our greatest victories, is we actually hit our mark on the wall. The distribution has been great. We're currently on iTunes, and we're currently on Google Play as well. By October of 2016, so really 3 months after our launch, we were number 11 in the training and education category. for popularity's sake. So in a few short months, really getting the right people on the bus, being inspired and creating something that had meaning, that had focus, got us to number 11 in training and education on iTunes. You can connect with us. We're Leaders Huddle on iTunes, and then also, like I said, on Google Play. We're at Company Command, so we've been tweeting a little bit here at DEF 2016. Very excited to be here with everybody. We're also on Facebook, and would love you to listen to an episode, rate our podcast, tell us what we're doing great, and tell us what we need to improve on.